Good morning, Mr. Good morning, Mr. Bodlani. Good morning, Advocate Johnson.
Morning, Chair. Morning,
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, Mr. Bodlani and his team, and good morning, Advocate
Morning.
Johnson. Chair, I guess before we proceed with then 2.2, we requested relevant documentation for purposes of section 28, specifically that enabled IDAC to initiate investigations into the alleged misappropriation of the crime intelligence slush fund. On our record, that document too has not, or that documentation hasn't been provided, am I correct?
We have provided, Advocate Maga, I believe we have provided a section 28.1.
For?
And that is the section 28.1 that we have.
Okay, let's just, and that is why this exercise is necessary. You recall, if we take a step back, your testimony is that Mr. Adams filed a section 27 in November 24, and that was followed up by engagements in January 25 to seek further clarification. And you indicated that the clarification sought and obtained in January 25, by then the investigation had broken into different legs.
Correct.
What we have been dealing with is the Mukwele leg, and I had understood you to say there are about, in total, 6 investigations flowing from the section 27. And one of the allegations advanced or suspicions expressed was that certain generals, mainly the 3 generals, General Kumalo, Lekalakala, the third one escapes me now, were misappropriating crime intelligence slush funds. That was a specific investigation as I understood it. So 2.2 requests documentation regarding that particular leg. And now I want to establish whether or not we have been provided. We've been provided with dockets from Cape Town and Pretoria, but I didn't understand the dockets to speak specifically to this, unless perhaps we didn't express ourselves in the clearest of terms.
Chair, the evidence leader did express herself clearly. The letter is clear. Perhaps to clarify, we have a section 28.1 with regards the slush fund council. That still is in the section 28.13, which had been provided.
Okay.
It is still in its investigation phase and had not moved into the section 28.1 phase,
Okay.
if I could clarify.
I confirm that what we have since received on that score then is the section 28.13 application.
That is correct.
And you say that this issue was reflected at 2.2 as part of that.
It is reflected in the 28.13 from my recollection, yes.
Then we get to 2.3, all relevant documentation. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. 2.2 also refers to a section 27 affidavit.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Advocate Johnson, you hear Commissioner Baloy's clarification. There are actually 2 requests in that 2.2.
The only 27 we have is the section 27, Commissioner Baloy, that was referred by Adams on the 21st of November, 2024.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy.
I don't know if he uses the direct words, but we would see it in the 27. There isn't an additional one.
Thank you. Turning then to 2.3, this was documentation providing authorization for the investigation to the manipulation of security vetting process. We know that it's in the 27.
Correct.
But this specifically relates to unlawful issuing of security clearances in favor of certain persons within crime intelligence. So that you recall in the Mukwele matter, there is a complaint about manipulation of security vetting processes. But then it goes further to talk about recruitment and employment and manipulation in respect of other people besides Brigadier Mukwele. And that's what 2.3 sought to obtain.
That counsel should be in the docket that was provided, Brooklyn CAS 543 of 6/2025.
And for the record file 54306/2025, that is the fourth docket, Chair, that we referenced when we started Advocate Johnson's testimony, on which we said a warrant of arrest had been issued but suspended in June.
That would be good.
Okay. 2.4, the inquiry file containing all relevant information pertaining to the alleged manipulation of appointment processes with a view to appointing individuals other than Brigadier Mukwele. Is there such?
So the inquiry file, those matters, from what I understand, fall within the I had to make notes, if you'll just pardon me. Inquiry file. That matter is a matter that has not been, there's no CAS registered for it yet, Chair. It still operates under the CIN reference number. I think those are the documents, Counsel, that Advocate Maga would have sent through last night, where there were different volumes containing evidence and affidavits, which is a matter still under investigation. It is not a CAS.
Okay. Just scroll back to 2.1, your 2.1. Are you saying that what's requested at 2.4 is part of that investigation, that big CIN number?
Yes. All of the matters, that was the only inquiry number that was opened.
Yes. And that record is still outstanding?
Yes.
So we can't gain any insight into what is requested at 2.4 until we get the inquiry file?
The inquiry file in 2.4 has been made available.
Okay.
So when I call it inquiry, it contains evidence, Chair, it contains documentation. Because the investigation has not yet been finalized, it has not been registered as a docket. That is why it still operates under the CIN number, which in itself is an inquiry.
Also, but all information relating to the subject identified here is there.
Correct.
And has been furnished, you say?
Correct, Chair.
Thank you.
I'll make a note of that. I'll come back to the issue shortly, Commissioners. Then lastly, we requested all A1 statements provided by Honorable Adams MP as of January 2025. And those A1s have been provided.
That is correct, Counsel. I obtained them from the investigating team on Friday. They gave me copies thereof. The copies have been handed as they were furnished.
Thank you.
I believe, unfortunately, an apology is somewhat late yesterday evening.
Ms. Silo,
Yes, Chair.
didn't you, perhaps because of the reference to other than Brigadier Mukwele, which appears in 2.4, did you not as a result skip 2.5, which also has the other than Brigadier Mukwele?
Oh, yes, I apologize, I skipped that.
Yes.
I realized I skipped 2.5.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing it out, Chair.
Yes.
Yes, and Chair, that then would also relate to that inquiry file of 2.4. All those other appointments would form part of that file.
Thank you.
Hence, it was that many volumes that were supplied.
Most obliged. So then we have dealt with 2.4, 2.5, we're at 2.6, and it's all A1 statements provided by Mr. Adams as at January 25, however many there may be.
Correct. As I indicated, they said there were 4, there was 1 per docket, and in fact, I was given 4,
Okay.
which I then furnished.
Thank you. I think those were the documents we had requested as at close of business on Thursday. Commissioners, you have, unfortunately, a new file added. It's file 9. It currently, the index is being updated. These were documents that came in last night and this morning. And that file 9 should then contain the documents referenced in paragraph 2.6 of the letter. You do have file 9 with you, Advocate Johnson.
That is correct.
These are the documents as received from yourself from yesterday, and in fact, even file 8 has been updated. So file 8 has got additions. And all these are the documents that have been flowing over the course of the weekend in response to this letter. We, as the evidence leaders, need to apply our minds to file 9 to see the extent to which it answers the requests set out in the letter under reference. And that, of course, will impact our approach to her testimony. So we may have to stand down some issues until after tea while we wrap our minds around the new documents. Thank you. With that, I think we are ready then to pick up where we left off on Thursday. For that purpose, I would like you to have before you file 3. And at file 3, I would like us to go to page 936. This is a Section 28 summons issued and signed by you on the 6th of February 2025. The questions I'll be posing on this document could potentially be part answered by the A1 statements you received that you've provided in terms of the letter, all A1 statements issued by Mr. Adams.
Okay.
Could potentially be, but like I say, still have to consider the content. You, I assume, would have cast your eye on the A1 statements and are able to confirm whether or not the A1 statements provided lend us to where this Section 28 summons is. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
My view is that summons will only make sense if buttressed by a compliant Section 27 supplementary statements, and any other information available to the investigators as at the 6th of February to issue that summons. Would that be a logical?
It follows.
Thank you. Now, this document, the summons, if you go over leaf at 937, just above a signature there, above your name, which I think it's your signature, you do confirm.
Yes, ma'am.
The details of the matter are said to be as follows. I quote, "This investigation pertains to manipulation of security vetting processes which resulted in the unlawful issuing of security clearances in favor of personnel within the Division Crime Intelligence of the South African Service." End quote.
I see that.
At the time you signed these summons, what evidence did you have, as by you, of course, I mean collectively the institution IDAC, what evidence did IDAC have to even conclude that there had been manipulation of security vetting processes and unlawful issuing of security clearances in favor of anyone within crime intelligence?
According to me, it would have had to have been the Section 27 referral, and it would have had to have been the supplementary affidavits that had been taken in January of 2025.
And as we established last week, we know that our Section 27 only expresses a suspicion
Correct.
of the commission of this crime without any underlying facts to support such a suspicion. So the answer then must lie in the subsequent supplementaries that we were received.
Correct.
My question then is, what must the commission do if it lands at a position where the supplementary statements do not support a claim such as reflected here? That on reading both the Section 27 and the relevant supplementary statement, one cannot reasonably conclude that a crime such as reflected here has even been committed or contemplated.
So if it's not made out in the supplementary, because that is what the supplementary sought to do, then these become problematic,
Yes.
because one would have to